had a place like this or someone to push me along. And I'll say this, thank God that I had the military because I had bumpers that sat on either side of me. And when I lost that, I also lost a lot of control in my life. Again, I came back to working for the government again and my wonderful wife and then opening covenant. Believe it or not, guess who my bumpers are now?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because there's a standard that I'm gonna choose to live my life because of you. Because you're here. Because that means that when I get up in the morning, there's passion that comes from that. So I say,
Hey, Sam.
yeah, that's what this is about. This Wednesday night fire, yes, is an introduction into covenant, into the covenant family and what we're doing. I invite everyone to stay for the RCT. If the individuals that are in the RCT will let the new people stay. No, they let. No. But you are more than welcome to stay. You know, if you have the time to see like what it is that we're doing and what we're training. This is an entry level. And at the end, after Josh is done, I'll show you, I mean, I'm sorry for those of you that see the Ascension model over and over again. That's part of the free stuff, so you can see everything and the way you can ascend through. So I appreciate everyone coming. You know, the RCT team that's here still shows up to the free training. What's the first step of success?
Show up.
Show up. Show up. Glad you're here. That's important. Yeah, show up. When you show up, then that's when you can stand up. You know, that's when you can look up. And everybody else here, they're here to help. Especially if you're struggling. Yeah. All right. Love you all. Josh. When I hand it over to you, you guys are having some fun.
All right. So just doing a little demonstration on network reconnaissance and traffic analysis. So basically, if you want to find out what's going on in your network, these are a couple tools you can use. You can use Nmap and wireshark. Let's get into it. Well, maybe. Oh, there we go. So legal and ethical use. Unauthorized scanning is illegal. So if you got Nmap running and you put in some website's IP address and you scan it and they didn't give you permission, might get in trouble. It's one of those gray areas where scanning is yes and no, but I just wouldn't do it. Always get written permission, use labs and training environments. So if you can do virtual machines, like you got a Kali box, and then you got an Ubuntu box, or you got the DVWA, which is the dang vulnerable web application. You can use that Kali box to scan that within your lab. You gave yourself permission. You're not going to get in trouble. That's what I would do. And then if you're doing this within an organization, so your boss wants you to use Wireshark or Nmap, follow their policy. Don't deviate from it, and don't do anything that's going to get you in trouble. So common beginner mistakes: scanning without authorization. That was weird. Scanning entire networks unnecessarily. So instead of just doing the port you want to check out, trying to scan every port in existence, ignoring the UDP services. I don't know why that's on there. Or not validating scan results. So not checking that the port you scanned is actually open or if it's actually in use. You just want to make sure that you check those out. So how this skill translates to jobs. SOC analyst can use Wireshark to detect reconnaissance, which we're going to go over in later slides. Network engineer can troubleshoot traffic with Wireshark. Pen tester can use Nmap to enumerate targets. So and find out what services are running, what operating systems are running, what ports are running. And just a few examples are incident responder can analyze PCAP. So the packets that come out when you do wireshark scan. You can go through and you can actually look at the packets and see what's going on in your network. So why Nmap and wireshark matters? It's the backbone of all modern systems. Networks are the backbone of all modern systems, not wireshark and Nmap. Sorry about that. Visibility equals security. It's used by defenders, engineers, and attackers. There's core skills for SOC or security operations centers, blue team, and network roles. So something like a network operations center or even the system administrators. And you can see that Nmap, you got two flavors. You either got the command line here, which you just type in your command plus the IP address, or you can use the GUI on Windows. I'm going to be a little lazy today because my labs were not set up the way I wanted, so I'm going to be using the GUI on Windows. And then down here you have an example. Oh, we clicked too far ahead. Down here you have an example of Wireshark. If you can see this red and gray, that is an Nmap scan running, and you can tell it's an Nmap scan because the window is a very low number. It's only 1024, and then you have SYN right here. And then down here is you have your packet information. So where the tool fits, Nmap is used for reconnaissance and enumeration of networks. Enumeration is pretty much what is going on the network. So what ports are open, what operating systems are open, what services are running. You can use Nmap to find you can use it to find a lot of ways into a network. It doesn't do it for you, but it helps. It shows what exists, and Wireshark will show you how the systems communicate. So Nmap overview, if you look up here, you have the Nmap command. So Nmap TAC A is aggressive, and then 192.168.1.1 is the IP address, although this is on a lab, and you can tell because it is a private IP. So 192.168, 10.0.0 or 10.72. There's a few of them that are specifically for private IP addresses. 172 is also another one. But with the aggressive scan, it popped out that it's running Linux 5.x, running Linux, and service info is also Linux. So Nmap or network mapper is used to discover live hosts, identify open ports, detect services and operating systems. And we're only going to cover like a small handful of the flags and options because there's literally hundreds of them. But if you get curious and you want to check it out for yourself, nmap.org is a great resource. And it even runs scripts. So with that, if you run any of the scripts in Nmap, just be very wary of what you're running, because there is a script within it that runs slow loris. And if you run slow loris on a server, you will take down the server. It will not run afterwards. They will have to restart it. So how Nmap works?
Virtual labs.
Yeah.
Play these toys inside your own.
So with virtual labs, actually, you could run that script and just take a screenshot of that. Actually, you wouldn't have to take a screenshot or snapshot of that virtual machine. You could just run it, then shut down the virtual machine, shut it back on, or turn back on. But Nmap works by sending crafted packets, analyzes the responses, uses TCP and UDP techniques, and infers system behaviors. Let's see. This one is running a service scan. So if you see the TAC SV, that is your service, and it is showing that port 22 is open, and it's running the service OpenSSH 8.2, and it's also showing that port 80 is open and is running Apache. So HTTP 2.4.4. So here's some common scans. This is just your basic scan. So Nmap 192.168.1.0. It's basically going to spit out the basic information of what's going on the IP address. If you wanted to do host discovery, you would run nmap.sn at 192.168.1.0/24. /24 is your CIDR notation. And what that's going to do is all those addresses that are behind the one are going to show whether there's a 1.12, a 1.20, a 1.122, or 1.54. It's going to show you all the ones that are open and running. So UDP scan is used for DNS, or SNP, SNMP, and NTP. It's slower, a little noisier, but it's not as bad as running the aggressive scan, which is very noisy, and you'll see that here at the end of the slides. So you also have service detection, which we covered about a slide back. So SV completes the full handshake. So what they're talking about with the handshake is when you go to a website, you send a SYN, it answers back SYN-ACK, then you answer back ACK. So what that's doing is it's doing that whole handshake versus if you were to run like a SYN scan, which only does like part of the handshake, which I will also show up on Wireshark later when I show you. So SYN doesn't complete the handshake. TCP connect is Nmap TAC ST. There weren't very many notes on that other than it'll connect with TCP. So this is where you get a lot of different options. So like I said, there's literally hundreds of them. So TAC-T and then a number will be the speed at which you're going to be running the scan. So if you run T5, it's going to run really, really fast. It's going to be really noisy, and you're going to set off a lot of, I guess the best word is alarms if they have a intrusion prevention or intrusion detection system. And if they have an intrusion prevention system, it's probably not going to let you get very much information. The TAC-V is verbose. It includes more details about the target. So when we run it, I'll actually show you in wireshark or Nmap all the information it spits out because it's hard to cover everything. And then TAC-P, that is scanning a single port. So you would just put, like, say for instance, you saw that port 22 was open and you wanted to scan that port for other services. You just put TAC-P, then port 22, or TAC-P and port 80. You can also scan a range of ports. So you can put TAC-P and then 1 through 100 just to see if the ones you're interested in are in there. You can do that for any other number as well. And then if you wanted to just go crazy and scan all 65,535 ports, it's TAC-P TAC. That's going to take a while.
So is it not recommended to use T5?
Yes and no. It really depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're trying not to get caught, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use TAC-A or TAC-T5 because TAC-A and TAC-T5 are going to be extremely noisy versus something like TAC-S, then capital S, which is going to be, it says it's stealthy, but nowadays firewalls still picks it up. But it's not as, there's other methods with Nmap. So if you wanted to get around a firewall, let's see if I can find it really fast. You can like spoof your IP address. So you would do, so if you could spoof your source IP, it's TAC-S, and then it would just do a whole bunch of different, you can set TAC-S and then the number, where is that? Yeah, you can do randomized host, so randomized target host order. You can spoof your MAC address, so TAC spoof TAC MAC. And when I say TAC, it's just minus sign. It's just faster than saying minus. You could also do something like, let's see. You can also do decoy addresses. So decoy is TAC capital D. And then it's going to just send a bunch of different IP addresses when you do your Nmap scan. So it's going to look like it's coming from all sorts of different IPs versus just the one. Well, there's literally hundreds of options. Another one you can do is you can fragment the packets. Go to do that. And what that means is instead of sending the entire packet, it just sends it pieces at a time. That command, wish I would have put that in here. Is TAC-F. So if you use it one time, it fragments the packets into smaller, like 8-bit or 16-bit fragments. And if you use TAC-F, it makes it even smaller. It makes it harder for the firewall to detect you. And this is mostly for the pen testing side. So red team guys at the company will pay to go find any vulnerabilities and then give them a report on what they find. There's just a couple common options. Let's see, Wireshark overview. So Wireshark is a network protocol analyzer. My throat's been dry the past couple days, guys. Sorry. Captures live traffic. Oh, welcome in. Are you Annette?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, have a seat. Come on in. We're just going over Wireshark and Nmap. But yeah, Wireshark is just a network protocol analyzer, captures live traffic, breaks packets into layers, and used heavily in incident response. Welcome in. How's it going, man? Hello. So used heavily in incident response. You can see down here we have Wireshark breaks up the packet in the frame, Ethernet, and the IP or address resolution protocol. This is that same sample we got earlier that's showing the Nmap scan. So you got a bunch of SINs. So anytime you see a SIN flood like this with a window size of 1024, that's usually telling you that you're having a reconnaissance scan done on your system. So Wireshark packet structure, the frame down here is your physical data layer. The Ethernet is your link layer, and your IP is your network layer. And then TCP UDP is user datagram protocol. It shows the port that's going through. And then your application layer shows down here with your DNS system or domain name query. So like Nmap, hold on a second. Like Nmap, you also got a bunch of different options you can put in. Display filters are applied after capture, used for analysis. So an example would be if you're trying to find Nmap scans, you'd use TCP flag SYN. Capture filters are applied before traffic is captured. It reduces the file size. If you wanted to do like TCP port 80, you can do DNS, or if you wanted to find a specific IP address, you got IP adder equals IP. The TCP flags.syn equals 1 and flag ACK equals 0. That's another shows an Nmap scan filter. So together, you can use Wireshark to detect an Nmap scan. So up here you have the Nmap scan running aggressive at a speed of T4 and it's verbose. So like I said earlier, when you run it verbose, you're going to get a whole bunch of information. It starts doing the different Nmap scripts. So NSE is the scripts that'll start running. It does not show all the others. And it'll start showing, ports, services, operating systems that are open. But you see over here, you got the SYN again. The window is cut off, but it's 1024, which is an indicator of an Nmap scan happening. So SYN floods indicate reconnaissance. Defenders detect scanning behavior, fast scanning time. So when you open Wireshark, an Nmap scan happens, this page just fills with the red and gray. Like it just goes in crazy. And it'll come from a consistent source IP. So you see in the red, that is the source IP. So that was the Windows machine attacking the Ubuntu machine at 1.247. And then, you guys got any questions or?
Question is, do we get these slides at one point in time, or
Yeah, I can get you the slides.
a way to go back and
Mhm.
then the slides that were before this to kind of help break down like the why or the basics
Yeah.
of this one?
Mm-hmm. Then we've got a live demo now, so let me pull that machine over to where you guys can see it. Yeah, maybe. All right, so we have, there we go. It might be a little upset. Hold on. Do this. Power you off, power off. Open. Go back here again. Second power on. Angry. There we go. So this machine is built specifically to be vulnerable. You can download this machine. I think it's from SourceForge where you can get it. But we will go ahead and open Wireshark, and to do that in Ubuntu, you first install it. You just go here and click the little shark fin. Why is it not full screen? Hold on a second.
I did the same thing at VMware a lot.
Yeah,
Make VMware full screen, but not the VM itself. Then you gotta go to VM on video.
let's do this. I think I got an idea. Just power it off again. It only takes 2 seconds to get it running, so it's not a big deal. So let's go here. Manage settings. There we go. Two. Here again. Give that a shot. It looks like it's gonna stretch for us now. Yeah. Oh, shoot. There we go. No, it doesn't. It was working earlier. Oh, oh, caps lock is on. That's why. I love how Linux has to be case sensitive about everything. There we go. Now it's bigger. That works better. Okay, now you guys can see. That's what I was worried about. So when you open Wireshark, you're going to have some options before you start capturing. So you're going to have any loopback, Docker 0, Bluetooth monitor, D-bus system, Cisco capture remote or Cisco dump, random packet. But what we're gonna do is you can do any or loop back, but we're gonna just do ends 33 because we want to see the packets coming from the attacking machine. So while it's doing that, I will just go ahead and go over here. Open Nmap again. I'll bring this over for you guys too. And what you will see is as soon as I hit scan, it just turns red. So all that right there was from Nmap scanning. So how you can tell. Oh, it's going to start going crazy again. Okay. So again, you see it just a SYN flood, and then you got the window is 0, just the small numbers. So you got 0, 1024, 4096, and a couple other numbers. But most of your packets that are normal aren't going to have like a small window. Like this one's 64,128. This one's 65,024. Although when they were talking about your filters, so we can go back here. Oh. Let's say TCP flags. Bring that back again. TCP dot flags dot SYN equals 1. So there's all those all the attacks from .100. So the .100 was this machine here. The 247 is the Ubuntu machine. And you can see over here. Oh, there we go. The Windows 1024, so it's low, so you know it's an Nmap scan. And you just got a bunch of SYN flags. And you can do like IP .addr equals
It said scan with the Nmap.
So that was when they were talking about so we can go there too and just filter it by the IP address 192.168.1.1 was this machine here. And it just shows all the attacks coming from that machine to the Ubuntu machine. So yeah. But let's see. So demo, key takeaways. Nmap discovers systems and services. Wireshark analysis analyzes traffic behavior, and together they provide network visibility and foundational cybersecurity skills. These are two tools I would become very familiar with, especially Wireshark and the filters, and then Nmap plus all the options you can run. Both of these are free. So you can go to nmapapp.org and download it. And you can go to Wireshark and download it at no cost to you. A few other tools you can look at that are also free is Burp Suite Community Edition. That one you'll have to dig really deep into because it's more for web app penetration testing. But you can build labs on like VMware and use Kali to run the web app, and then something like DVWA to where you could attack that machine and see how it works. But yeah, let me grab Shannon and he's got something for you guys too. And I'll be right back.